Well. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day. We got some stuff to talk about. I know there's some people celebrating right now, and I just wanted to come discuss the actual facts of what is going on before people go sideways. There's many ways that this could be looked at. This might not be the best situation. It might not be the worst situation. This is why I've been really hesitant to really push certain things. But I want to discuss this a little bit before people get out of sorts with thinking that this is the end of everything. So let's get going. Good morning, afternoon, everybody. I know a lot of people are coming in upset, but there's multiple ways that this could be looked at. So let's actually talk about this because they're celebrating. Let them celebrate. Let them puff their chest and do all the things. I want to actually talk about the facts of what's happening. So, hey, Pika. Hey, Music City Mom. Ohana. Thor. Chai. Catherine. Hetty. Alma. Shelly, JC, Lisa, Kay, Shaby. You thought that's what it was going to be. Well, honestly, this isn't. Nope, not today. This isn't actually. Well, exactly, Thor. Exactly. Let's talk about that, though. Hey, Kelsey. Chico, I'll explain it. Don't be upset. Yeah, exactly, Shy. I think you're in my mindset. Hey, Shauna. Thank you for being a member for 8 months, Shauna. Thank you for being a member for 4 months, Shy. Hey, Mel. Kathy Cluck the House. Everybody has their opinions, but I want to break this back a little bit. Hey, Marcy. Hey, New Leaf, because I'm one of the ones that doesn't think this is necessarily a bad thing. Hey, Luna Ray. Hey, Lynn Love and Light. Duh, Elizabeth. But let me show and play Betty's live so you guys can kind of understand, and then we're going to actually break it back with what this means in my non-educated legal brain. I'll just show you guys because nobody can talk for herself quite like Betty. So Betty made a live. She first made a community post. The title of this video says all charges have been dropped. All right. So what we know, just to set the stage, is that Betty, yeah, Chico. Yeah, no. Betty was facing 6 criminal violations for the protective orders, the 4 protective orders that were in place. That got packaged up and sent to a jury, a grand jury. The grand jury has came back with the ruling on those 6 violations. Let's listen to this.
Give me a second.
The arrogance.
There we go. Hello, my beautiful people of YouTube. It is so nice to see you. I have been asking for days to find out what the results of my grand jury. I will be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Chica. Hello. It's nice to see you. So, long story short, as you guys know, the routine about what happened in court. We've been screaming corrupt county, corrupt county, corrupt county for a really long time. They've been trying to railroad me in my avocation for the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And we've been going through here, and we're like, how in the world is this going on? How in the world is this going on? Then I was arrested for speaking for the love of Christ, literally speaking on my channel from the state of Florida. And somehow that was a violation of law in Tennessee.
Okay, so first and foremost, her title is misleading. Please bear with me. I know you guys are all like freaking out already. You guys, there's nothing to really freak out about here. This is in particular to those 6 charges. That's it. That's all. We're going to talk about why I'm not really in the same mind space as a lot of people running around feeling sick over this. And I'll explain why.
See, for me speaking, I'm surprised they didn't require me to stop breathing, right? This is a national interest case. Hashtags do not notify people. I have never been around these people. I've never contacted these people. I've never asked people to contact these people.
Okay, so right off the bat, she's talking about the ROs. From my understanding, again, I am not an attorney, so do not take this as legal advice, but those 4 orders of protection are still going to remain in place. This only was about those 6 criminal violations. The orders remain in place. This has nothing to do. She's appealing the orders. This is only to do with those 6 criminal violations from that particular incident when she was in Tennessee and got arrested. That is what she is talking about. But she's going to mix it all together. Okay? In true Betty fashion, she's going to mix it all together. Well, she can think she's unstoppable, but trust and believe that's not what this is.
Yet
people need to do their research. No true bill does not mean all charges are dropped. And I'll show you.
They're trying to say because I hold a show, that is contact to them. Well, apparently everybody must be blowing their entire phones up so much so they have to turn these phones off, you know? So here it is.
Okay, so let's read what she's showing. It says right on here, right here, let me pull it full screen so you guys can see it. It says, the purpose of this letter is to advise you that the Sumner County Grand Jury issued a no true bill regarding the above styled charges that were bound over to the May Grand Jury. Therefore, no further action will be taken on these charges. And you will want to notify your client that it will not be necessary for her to appear in court for arraignment on May 23rd as indicted on the appearance bond. Copy enclosed. Okay, what is a no true bill? In Tennessee, a no true bill from a grand jury means that the jury has determined there is not sufficient probable cause to believe the defendant committed the crime. Those 6 violations, you guys, just those 6. This has nothing to do with the RO, the basis of the RO. Now, she's still appealing that. But this is just in particular to those charges, those charges from that specific time frame. None of the rest of the stuff. Essentially, the grand jury finds the prosecutor's evidence insufficient to proceed with the case. This doesn't mean the defendant is innocent, but rather that the case cannot proceed to trial at that time. Grand juries review evidence presented by prosecutors to determine if there is enough probable cause to indict an individual for a crime. A true bill means the grand jury found probable cause and the case can proceed to trial. A no true bill indicates the opposite, meaning the case cannot proceed at that time. A no true bill is not the same as an acquittal. The prosecutor can potentially bring the case back before another grand jury. In Tennessee, a no true bill is one of several reasons why a person's criminal record may be eligible for expungement. But it doesn't mean that these can't be redone. It doesn't mean that they can't violate on other things. It doesn't mean that the ROs go away. It means the particular 6 charges that they sent over to the grand jury they did not find probable cause with. It doesn't mean that the prosecutor can't go back in and find other things if they find sufficient evidence or want to charge her or violate her on other things. I'm telling you, you got to have faith in the justice system, which I know none of us do. But there could be something more to this. This isn't a complete loss yet. Let them puff their chests. Let them do it. But the facts are the facts. They have not been dropped. They have not completely been dropped. She is making it sound to her audience that the ROs are basically, there's nothing to them. No, that's not what this means. I know, Pika, I know. And will she ultimately have the ROs and the appeal reversed? I have no idea. We have no idea. But it's not the charges. All charges have been dropped. It's those 6. Yes. And they were from early on at the vigil. I was shocked. If you guys go back and remember, I was shocked that they violated her on those things when there's so much worse that they could have violated on. This right here, depending on how they want to go about it, it's going to embolden her to do more bullshit. Let her do. Let her go. If the prosecutor, if they decide to violate her on other things, I don't know, Love Louie. There's plenty of other things that they might. We have no idea. Yeah, there's been a lot since then. Those were super early on. Super early on. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. This doesn't mean they can't violate her on the other things, and it doesn't mean that they're dropped. It doesn't mean that those charges are dropped. It doesn't mean that the ROs are dropped. That's one thing I want to make sure this is aware. Like, people need to be aware. Like, this is just Tennessee too. Chico will tell you. Chico will tell you that Tennessee is a letdown constantly. There was the first judge recused himself. She lost an attorney. There's a lot of shit going on here that could mean all sorts of different things. This is why I don't really get super invested in these things until we get a little further, because there's so many things that could happen. There's an appeals on the ROs still, but right now the ROs are still in place.
Right here.
But let's listen to her boast.
No true bill. No true bill. So when they had to present this case to actual people instead of their ecosystem of corruption, no.
Stephanie, just those 6. That's all she was facing right now. Those 6. It doesn't mean that they can't refile on those same ones. It doesn't mean that there's nothing here that they can't do. There's still places that they could go if they want to. Will they? I have no idea. The judge recused himself. There's so many other things that outside of these, we have no idea what they're going to do. We have no clue. This is why people like taking off days because she has a court hearing. This is how these things play out. Nothing really happens overnight. And Betty, as we know, Betty has spent her time finding every loophole in the justice system and everything to work for her benefit. And first and foremost, do courts ever protect victims? You tell me. Do grand juries ever really? I mean,
true bill. This did not pass the. I was not indicted. There is no indictment against me.
On those,
the only thing they were able to do was railroad me while it was in their control, and when it was outside of their control, we had a win.
Could they violate her on other things? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Could they re-indict her or recharge her on those same 6? I don't know. Will they? We have no idea. Let them puff their chests. Betty just lost a massive fucking court case. A massive court case in Pennsylvania. Betty still has 4 orders of protection against her.
we had a win. I did not break the law. I've never broken the law. I've never broken the law in the freaking state of Tennessee. I haven't even gotten a blessed speeding ticket. Never seen these people. Never tried to interview these people. Never stalked these people. I posted a blessed sign of their missing child on a pole. Hardly the crime of the year in light of a child being gone. And
she still looks really nervous for being so confident.
Missing and disappearing from their house, but they wanted to change the station. They wanted to make this a distraction. They wanted to blame Betty for everything. And at the end of the day, I didn't break the law. I haven't broken the law. I've never violated a protective order, and I don't have any reasons to have that protective order in place. So for all the people out there, oh, by the way, JLR and his, I kept trying to tell you that everybody says they have these sources because
we'll go back and look at her and JLR's fight. All I'm trying to say is, you guys, I don't know, Chico. I don't know why people are shocked. And so like, if they wanted to do something, if there is true violations, if there are things that they want to pursue, then they can pursue other things. They can also send more evidence with something else. Like, there is so much going on. Petitions do not help anything. Petitions, I'm firmly against petitions, because petitions actually have to have like extensive action steps. You have to have somebody that can follow every action step. Petitions do nothing. A bunch of signatures. You have to have a whole group of people that work with them to have action steps to go out. Like, you really have to do a lot with petitions. Petitions online really do not help much.
As they play the odds, right? 90% of everything that goes before the grand jury is indicted. 99.9% of just about everything that goes.
Listen to the confidence in this. Listen to the confidence in this. But yet she's still looking everywhere but the camera.
Before the grand jury is indicted. I personally believed I was going to be indicted myself, because 99.9% of all cases that go before the grand jury.
Love Louie, I do too. I do too. Because here's the thing. She lost a case in Pennsylvania. Massive case. Her and the other ones. This is a great day for freedom of speech. Bitch, shut the fuck up. It is not about freedom of speech. She has been stalking and harassing a family. The 4 orders of protection are still fucking in place. That doesn't change anything. The court still deemed her. She is in appeals for those orders of protection. All this means is those 6 violations, the grand jury decided not to indict on. Those 6
are indicted. So he played his odds. He didn't have a source in Sumner County like he says he does. He never has sources anywhere. When he gets these sources, these unknown sources, like I tried telling you, they're all made up sources, okay? He does not have people just like these yahoos all out there for the last 2 days saying, I was indicted, I was indicted, I was indicted.
I wasn't one of those yahoos, and I will never use JLR as a source. Betty is cut from the same cloth as JLR. They all came from the same place.
I did. And here we go. No true bill. The proof is in the pudding. So much for their unknown sources in the courthouse. So everybody that said that they had unknown sources in the courthouse, you know damn good and well they were full of shit, because they don't make this type of mistake. They played the odds, because 99.9%.
She's never been good at statistics. We know that.
Of all cases before them are indicted. But the problem here is these people cannot testify under oath if they've ever.
We have no idea what was sent to the grand jury either. We have no idea what was sent to the grand jury on those 6 charges. That was early on. That was super fucking early on. And I was stunned that they violated her on that. And that was, they picked her up in Montgomery County. And then they transferred it over to Sumner, and she only spent 24 hours in jail then. Let them celebrate. I don't know why, like, the bad day for anybody here is victims and their families, but we've been seeing the court system fail victims and their families over and over again.
Ever seen me that I've ever contacted them or they've ever heard me tell somebody to contact them, because I've never done those things. And I am very, very thankful right now that
Toby he said somebody on the green team was indicted,
this
or the
did
team.
not pass the grand jury, that they were actually paying attention and they actually saw this for what this is, a pile of shit. And Sumner County should be embarrassed. Absolutely.
That doesn't mean any of that. It means that whatever was sent over, they didn't feel had sufficient evidence to charge on those 6 violations. That's all it means. Those 6 violations, those 6. The ROs are still in place. She's appealing those. But it only means those 6, when they were packaged and sent to the grand jury, that there wasn't enough evidence to charge on those 6.
Absolutely, utterly embarrassed. But this doesn't stop. The protective orders are still in place, and we still have appeals that we have to win, which now we know the appeals are winnable.
So right there, the ROs are still in place. She's been continuing on. Multiple judges have basically told her they wouldn't continue to talk about this case the way she is.
So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we're going to get ahead of this, we're already ahead of this. We just need as much as we can. If you guys can donate to my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, we still have an appeal that I have to get through.
She still has an appeal that she has to get through. And I think Betty knows that if she loses that appeal, it's very likely that she'll get more violations. That's my opinion.
True. I've already reached out to my attorney, the attorney that's handling the appeal, and let him know this information. So we are on go now, and we're going to be getting through these appeals as much as possible. This is a great great end to the week right before Mother's Day. This is a breath of fresh air. Finally, we get a win in the right column. I'm just, for the life of me.
I mean, people can take this as a win. People can be really sad about it. I'm not telling you can't. Would it have been nice for them to be able to violate on those 6? Yeah. But do I still have hope that if there's things that she has done after the court order, the ROs went in place, that she continued to do, that I find more problematic than those? Yeah, I do. But I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a judge.
I mean, can't figure out how somebody can go into a county, never break a law, and still get arrested in America in 2025. If I had not have personally witnessed it and gone through it, I would never, ever.
Love Louie, you're with me. I do not take this as a win. And I understand people are disappointed because a lot of people rode really heavily on these 6 violations. But I think this might actually turn out in the favor of the victims eventually. Because if she loses those appeals, which who knows, I don't know what they have. I don't know what they're working with. I have no clue what a judge, attorneys, what they're going to be, how that will all work out. But if she loses those appeals, it doesn't mean that they can't come slap her with a bunch of more violations or violations that they can make stick. We have no idea what could happen after those appeals.
Forever.
This is just the court system. I think Chris Proudfoot said over and over again, they are letting every single thing go through the motions.
Or believe it would happen this day and age. But we have seen what corrupt counties can do when you are an outsider and they don't like your commentary. This has cost me a lot, not only to my reputation, but it has cost me a lot to me financially, to my channel, to everything.
Wendy. Yes, Wendy, you're okay. You guys are the same. Like this, she's trying to mix this all in one. And people are thinking, oh, there's nothing here. She's going to get away with it all. Will she? Possibly. But right now, she's still got 4 ROs in place. There has still been many things. When was the date of those violations? Go back to that. When did she violate? We're close to coming up on like 10 months ago. 10 months ago. 11 months ago that she started like causing shit. It'll be the summer when they actually hit those. August, I think, was when they violated her. So those have sat there since August. Yeah, but they can ask the RO to be extended. So June, yeah, she's still got so much going on here. The fucking shit that's going on here. She's still up against major appeals. She just lost a huge case in Pennsylvania where there's damages that are going to be sought. She has done nothing but amplified her bullshit since the ROs have been put in place to the family. The appeals are still in existence.
That I've had to go through because of this nonsense. They can all kiss my white breaded ass.
Oh, that's probably
Fuckers. Okay, now that
I mean, you're still out on an RO. I'm sorry, I love this for her. I love this for her that it's going to embolden her and her little buddies, and they're going to show their coordinated effort even more. Sorry. I hate this for the victims, but I love this for them because they're getting arrogant. Oh, this is a win for freedom of speech. No. And you're still out on ROs.
I got that out of my
Just because there's no true bill on those 6 violations. I mean,
system.
You do you.
We are now able to move forward. I'm not in fear of going to jail anymore. And it's time to get out there and start searching for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I will be scheduling a search at my earliest possible convenience. I've got a couple more little things we've got to work out. And then we're getting out there. And I say we start working from Portland all the way back down to Hendersonville. That's my personal viewpoints.
You're still out on a $20,000 bond at this point. You're still out on a $20,000 bond right now. I don't know what will happen with that, but you still have 4 ROs and you're talking about continuing to go to their area. I just don't see it working out in your favor here.
But everybody that's been on here, using this, manufacturing this, providing this illusion, then having me.
Peaches, let her. We've only played her words. I don't care. Betty's still facing appeals. These ROs are still in play. She hasn't stopped her insanity yet, and she's still continuing. A judge just recused himself because of potential threats.
Arrested and sitting on here acting like I've done these horrible things when all I've done is speak. Everybody can kiss my white breaded ass. Freedom of speech is still free here in this country. Oh, thank you, Smiley. God bless you for that. But like I said, again, we are there's no longer a little dangle over my head. Bullhorn Betty did not break the law. Bullhorn Betty has not broken the law in flipping years.
Oh.
In Sumner County, the people that did this, Lisa Byington.
That $20,000 bond showed closed before this order came out. I don't know what that has to do with or what that's in regards to, but the $20,000 bond said closed before this grand jury no true bill ruling.
All of y'all can kiss my white breaded ass. How dare you do this to anybody? And let alone somebody with a public platform such as myself that does this every single day for a living, and you try to tell me that I'm not what I am. I can be anything under the Constitution.
That I'm not what I am. That I'm not what I am? What is that shit, Betty? No, you're still a complete idiot. A complete ridiculous, in my opinion, lunatic. You just lost a huge case in Pennsylvania. Why aren't you guys talking about that? Why aren't you talking about that? Oh, you're going to try to cover it up with this one little win here? You're facing major damages and some problems in Pennsylvania for your bullshit. You told everybody that was a federal case. Do we forget? You told everybody you had all of the evidence. Your attorneys were ready to go to trial with that one. Huh.
I'm not under one hat. I'm an activist, an advocate, a searcher, a commentator, a news organizer. I'm everything. Don't label this woman. Don't label this woman, because while you're sitting there labeling me, I'm running circles around you. Just saying, justice prevailed. Amen. Amen. God bless you guys. Michelle gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell.
Love Louie. I'm not really sure. It's said it's closed for quite some time. The $20,000 bond on the docket has said it was closed previous to this grand jury ruling. So I'm not really sure. It doesn't really matter. Like all of that stuff again. She has 4 ROs still, which have specific orders from the judge that granted those. They still remain in place. She still has an appeal upcoming. There's still more that if they choose to do, will they? I have no idea. I have no clue, but she's still really fucking nervous because she's facing a lot. And I'm going to tell you something. Some of you think that criminal stuff is the only way people can go. She might be fucked civilly if this family chooses to go after her.
Tell Michelle thank you and welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room. Welcome aboard, Penny. And Patty says, congrats, win, 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 win all day long. It is a win all day long, and we're very thankful. B. Tim is dumb, dumb, dumb. Once again, congratulations. These people.
Look at them. These are the same people that thought that Betty's RICO case was a federal RICO case.
All these people.
That their attorneys were ready to go to trial, and they just lost a significant thing. She doesn't want to talk about that, right?
People are dumb. You know, they can paint the illusion, but when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, they're always missing a tire. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the bond was for those specific 6 charges, so chances are it'll go away unless they decide to, or they find new evidence to recharge on those same ones or find additional ones. I don't know. Will they charge? I have no idea. But she's still got appeals, and she admitted herself the ROs are still in place. This doesn't mean they can't do anything here. Do they have evidence to do anything else? I have no idea.
So I thought we'd come. I just found this out myself. Hell, I didn't even have this. I tried to look all over to find out what was going on. This was all informed to me, and other people have it. I got to tell you, social media rocks because social media content creators had this letter right here before my attorneys did. None of my attorneys have this yet. So, just to let you know, I don't know how, but they do. But they do. So maybe they should have tried to come up with something more convincing than hashtags, which we were said over and over again is not a form of contact. Exactly. Absolutely.
Do you guys remember what she initially said she was violated for? She initially said she was violated for threatening to sue someone. Then it was hashtags. Then it was all these other things that she claimed that was what she was violated for. She changed her story constantly on that.
100%.
I am in the camp. Sorry, guys. I'm in the camp that if there is something that can be done for victims and their families, hopefully Tennessee will pursue it. If not, I mean, Tennessee is kind of a letdown of what they've allowed these families to be done over and over again. Look at Dawn and Candace Wells. Again, you can think that they're guilty all day long. I don't give a fuck about your personal opinions. Tennessee laws have allowed these people to stalk and harass, make them lose jobs. Look what they've done to Chris and Katie. These people in their neighborhood, all over, the invasion of privacy, keeping them under surveillance. Betty's one of many that should have been slapped down. But here we are.
Congratulations, my beautiful. Thank you. The real me too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic news. Amen to that. And, Tired of Boy's also controversial. And I got to be honest with you. I was not a Turtle Boy fan. And
she wasn't a Turtle Boy fan until it suited her that she needed to play the whole poor Turtle Boy because poor Betty.
And everything like that until my case. And I realized now, granted, I still think he went overboard following people to...
Wendy, that's exactly where I'm at. I want to see if they have something else. I want to see something so airtight that there is nothing she can maneuver out of. That's why one reason why, people are so quick to oh, charge her on this, charge her on that. That's actually frivolous, in my opinion. They need to grab something that they can make stick. They need to make sure that it is so airtight that when she goes down for it, there's no scrambling she can do. She has dedicated her life to finding every little loophole, every little thing. You don't have a record like she has with all those charges and no convictions without being nefarious. One of these days, shit's going to come back. It always does. And the other ones, her team puffing their chest. I wonder if they're going to pin her cash apps. I wonder if Tony, the head of the group, is making sure all the team goes and puffs their chests around. They didn't want to talk about their huge loss in Pennsylvania, but I'm sure they'll be firing up the pin Betty's cash app for legal funds. We're not over yet. While they're all claiming this is a huge victory for free speech. You don't even know what free speech is, BJ. Have you talked about and read the order from the judge in Pennsylvania yet?
Games and stuff like that. That's a little more than I would have done. But in all fairness, I probably would have followed somebody to a hairdresser or a restaurant. And I still don't think that it's a criminal offense if you're there for news gathering purposes. But either way, one thing that they said in the Massachusetts case is that he is a journalist. And I think that that's important because we are journalists.
See, she likes Turtlebone now because there's pieces of that she can use for her own benefit. It doesn't matter if you call yourself a journalist or not. I don't give a fuck about the title that people use. Your freedom of speech ends when it starts impeding the rights of another. There's consequences. Does it seem like and feel like Betty gets away with stuff? Yes. But the court process is still ongoing. There is still ongoing court processes that she has to go through. I'm going to continue to have hope until every single thing is removed. And then, unfortunately, we know she's going to go after another family until she is deemed unable to.
And we have every single protection that every single journalist, mainstream media, and all have. And it seems so easy that law enforcement, as well as the
laws have to change outside of just Tennessee, though, too. These are people go to jail for way less and spend a lot of time behind bars for like marijuana charges. And people get away with sexual assault charges in Texas. There will always be this fucking back and forth. Laws have to change because victims aren't protected, period.
State attorney's office have forgotten that and need to go back to school. And lastly, follow the damn laws. None of this would have been going on right now if Judge Ron Blanton would have followed the damn statutes. I was afforded 5 days. They gave me 48 hours to get there from Florida. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. If he would have followed the damn law, none of this would be going on right now. Absolutely none of this. Oh, Mr. and Mrs.
And I guess that will be determined in the appeals.
Crime past the
This is why one thing, yeah, do I want to see her behind bars? Yeah. Do I joke around about it? Yeah. But I got to continue to have optimism, lunatic. If I don't, why are we here? We have to keep pushing back. If we all give up and say, oh, Betty got away with it. Betty is one person of a huge growing trend. Betty is one person. But if we give up because we continue, this is reality. This is what we've seen one after another. Tyree Nichols, 3 fucking officers just got completely not guilty on everything, not even misconduct. Memphis police officers beat that man and killed him. We have to continue to have hope somewhere. We have to. Betty is one person that's a growing problem. Chris and Katie are one family, one that this has happened to. There are so many outside of this little tiny group of people and it's continuing to happen. But the more these type of cases get in front of juries, in the news, in the courts, the more people are waking up to this is a growing concern.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Who else do we have? Fantastic news from Speary Mystic. Thank you so much. We have Elizabeth. Congrats, baby. Or Betty, we stand behind you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hold on a second. I appreciate that. This has been a long time coming. I got to tell you, this hit me so much all at once, so quickly that I haven't even had an opportunity to really, take it all in, because I've just been fighting and fighting and fighting so much against this lawlessness.
This lawlessness. Again, violations on protection orders, it's so interesting because some people are violated so easily and some people just continue. This is why the inconsistency in charging is so fucking weird for so many different people. But I'm going to continue to be hopeful, because if there are true violations, if the appeals are not granted, we'll see how the court system plays out. Will it ultimately be disappointing? We have no idea. No clue at this point.
And this failure to follow their own laws in the state of Tennessee, in this one county of Sumner County, Tennessee, which is where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. And if they keep getting all the investigative work related to me in my case,
Betty is going to gloat. Her team's going to gloat. They've had massive losses they need a distraction from. And there are some major problems with some of the massive losses that they've had. For them, nobody else, for them. She's still facing huge things. You guys can be mad at me for remaining optimistic. If we give up hope, if we stop pointing out what's happening, if we say, oh, because Betty wasn't charged, we're done. What are we doing? We're letting them win. Let her gloat. Let them puff their chests. The court process continues on. And until people wake up that this is continuing to happen to family after family, victim after victim, we'll continue to be behind.
Case wrong. Well, how do we feel about them investigating Sebastian's case? And that's how you have to look at it. If they truly believed half the horse shit that Chris and Katie were peddling to them, if they believe that, what's the hope?
I would hope somebody wouldn't falsify court documents, first and foremost. Shauna L., if somebody did that, that's a huge fucking issue. It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. Love Louie, thank you for being a member. Tobians, thank you for being a member for 10 months. Shauna M. for 8 months. Gary for 3 months. Gary, we have to remain hopeful. We have to.
Of ever finding Sebastian, because it's like the blind leading the blind. It's like the blind leading the blind. So again, the grand jury did not bring back a true bill. They did not.
But this isn't the courts, lunatic. This is a jury. A grand jury is 13 random people. This is why these cases are so dangerous. Do people understand that? It could taint jury pools. People in those communities, these are small communities. This is why it's so important to bring awareness to what is happening, because these are 13 members of the community that made this decision that probably have no clue what is truly going on to these families. This is why we have to scream louder. This is why we have to continue to be factual on our pushback. This is why we continue to showcase what these people are doing to these victims and their families, because the court system is way behind what these people are doing. Emma, thank you for becoming a member, or being a member for 7 months. Yeah, I mean, small town girl, I wouldn't think somebody would be stupid enough to do something like that, but
indict me. I'm glad to hear that even the most corrupt counties can't get past their own grand.
She's showing it, not me. This is what she's showing. I'm just talking about what she's showing. If somebody, I don't believe somebody would do something like that, because that would be a big deal.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys eat that up. I've got a lot of work to do today.
I'm going to let you eat that up.
Okay. I heard about this, and I just wanted to let everybody know that the good guys won in this case. The good guys won.
The good guys won. Again, this is only in regards to those 6 violations that were very early on. That's it. That's all. Doesn't mean that the ROs go away, as she even stated. Doesn't mean that this is over. There's a lot of maneuvering that can happen. Will it? I have no idea. Will the prosecuting attorney in Tennessee find other things? I have no idea. It's a wait and see. This is why when people are getting so excited, taking time, like, this is why I sit and wait. This is why, because unfortunately, we watch victims be let down all the time.
So rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless you guys. And remember, the good guys did win. And thank you for those last
The good guys did win.
2 super chats. Who were they from? They were from Priscilla. Thank you so much. And Chica, thank you so much. God bless you all for being here. And thank you for all of the love and the support. We'll see you soon.
Oh, I'm actually embarrassed for them. Yeah, isn't that that's what Wendy, that's another thing. She hasn't even heard from her attorney yet. She hasn't even heard from her attorney. She found this online. This is what I'm saying. It's not a win like they're claiming it to be. I don't think anybody would falsify this. I mean, if they do, she's the one showing it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. All we can do is go off what she's doing. She got the letter off the internet. We have no idea what's going to happen. Let her continue to do stupid shit. She hasn't even talked to her attorney yet. She got this from the online. That's what I'm saying too. She is so pissed off about this. She wouldn't look at the camera. We know Betty's behavior and her actions. We know how she is. She knows that even if these 6 violations are removed, that it doesn't mean that they can't be repackaged up and resent, that it doesn't mean that they can't find evidence to charge on other violations. She knows all of that. She knows she's still got to win these appeals on the ROs, that the ROs are still in place. She is not her most arrogant self. And let me show you a comparison to when Betty gets really arrogant. Let me go here. Let's just do a reminder of true arrogance from Betty. You'll see a stark difference.
Freaking post. I don't care who's out there. This is unacceptable in the true crime community for people raising legitimate concerns and being booted from the large. And you know what? It's their group. It's a private group, and you're right. But it's a private group that all of us creators have promoted and brought people to. And I have been in there as a daily user and a daily commentator, and I got absolutely done with the BS that's going on with these attacks coming from one specific party, one specific group of people. They're associated with JLR. They're associated with Magnolia, and they're
Chico, that's why every one of us plays a role in making people aware that this is going on. So many people had no idea that this is happening to families. The more we highlight the problematic behaviors, the more they get away with, the more it's the impact it's having on juries. You streaming the trial of Tyree, showing actual corruption, Duchess going to city council meeting. There is so much that we need to get louder. We need to get louder and louder. And each of us can play our role. Like I've always said, there's so many things I can't do and won't do. But I will absolutely use my voice to show the continued harm and bring people awareness of what is truly happening to these victims and their families. And I will continue to try to help in any way, shape, or form I can. Research, writing letters, making phone calls, whatever we can to the proper people. These victims and their families need to be heard. Their voices need to be the ones that are heard. They need to be the force behind a movement to get change to happen. All of these different things, but there are so many different areas: court systems, protection. dignity? What is awareness? Like, there's just so many avenues. And it's going to take the victims' voices and their stories to get people to wake up.
Attacking Seth's family, which everybody knows has literally the lowest probability of having any culpability in this disappearance. And I don't know when it's become okay.
It will take an army, Chico, but you know what? People get invested when they realize what's happening. There's a lot of people out here fighting behind the scenes. Wendy is a fierce fighter. There's so many people that do their part, and each of us can. We can all do our little part of bringing awareness to it, doing what we can. Unfortunately, until people wake up and realize this is not acceptable behavior by these creators who exploit these families, it's going to continue.
To attack family members that literally had nothing to do with the crime. I have never in my life.
You see the difference in arrogance? You see the difference in arrogance here? That's why I'm saying I don't think she's very excited about this no true bill ruling.
Seen such bullshit before. And while everybody's trying to say they want to come together and they care about this case, anybody that has a problem with correcting the BS, they get booted. And this is a huge problem, and you guys should not be standing around. And I'm going to ask my creator friends that are on this platform that also support this page that this is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. Are you here to advocate for a boy or have a pissing contest with people? Because the last time I checked, all the information needs to be shared with everybody, but it seems like this one group of people that isn't getting the attention that they feel that they deserve.
This is just her pissed off at JLR. That's why I'm saying the arrogance of today is completely different. Something's uneasy here. She's uneasy about something. Maybe it's because of the RO still being in place and she knows she has to go through appeals. We have no idea, but she's uneasy about something. This is the previous one she went when she was just pissed off at JLR. But she don't have this arrogance about her today. Of course, she needs money, so she's probably got to tone it down a little bit.
They are shitting on every single person out of spite. Out of pure spite. Let's go over what this all transpired over. And I hope you guys go over there because I know there was many people from this channel here specifically that are group members over there. And you should be asking them why they are blocking me because I'm going to.
Notice she's looking straight at the camera. Notice how pissed off and arrogant she was about losing a badge in a Facebook group. Nah, she's uneasy today. Why? I don't know. But I like to see the difference in her behavior because something's not sitting with Betty right. Because Betty knows. Betty hasn't even talked to her attorney yet. Betty got that off the internet.
Read you everything that was said. Because this does not warrant being blocked from any group when somebody has legitimate concerns.
Y'all, all we can do is use our voices to stand up against this kind of stuff and continue to do what our little parts. We can continue to do. There's 50 states. Each and every state needs change. Laws need to change on so many different things. Fucking so many different things. It's unreal the amount of things that need to catch up to where we are in society. We can all do one small part. What I choose to do is bring attention to the harm that these people are doing. I will continue to do that. I'll help on the back end, researching things, writing letters. But truly, I'm here to elevate the voices of the victims, not other people. That's who needs to be the face and the foremost important part of this type of shit is the victims' voices. What has happened to them? Betty ain't no fucking victim. I don't know. Kim, I don't know. This is just what she was showing, but this is such a stark change in her arrogance. And we know Betty. We know Betty.
And they totally block me. They are a fucking embarrassment. If this is how they treat people, that you don't need to be supporting any channel like that. They sat here and used Seth and that family to build their name on that channel for everybody.
All I can say is if that's not real and somebody faked that court document, I would hate to be the one on the receiving end of that bullshit. And I would hate to be Betty that she ran with it and not talk to her attorney first. All I can go off is what Betty is showing. What Betty is showing, the no true bill. You saw what Tennessee law states about it. That's why I'm saying, like, people are really, really upset and like, my whole day is ruined. Why? The court has to still go through the entire process. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean that they can't charge her with things. It doesn't mean that they can't find new evidence and go back on these same ones. It doesn't mean anything besides those 6 charges. The grand jury didn't find probable cause to indict. If that letter is real. If not, I don't want to be the green team running around with it. But here they are. I'm just here to document and give you my thoughts.
To flock over there. They flocked over there and they started shitting on the family. And now anybody that has anything to say, they want to block. And I'm going to read you some comments that I got from other people that have had some things to say that have also been blocked. So it's time now to say this is unacceptable. If you want this.
She's this upset and angry over being blocked. Remember that. Look at the contrast here in her behavior. Let's go back to today. I want you to see the difference in behavior.
Oh. Hello, my beautiful people of YouTube. It is so nice to see you. I have been asking for days to find out what the results of my grand jury. I will be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Chica. Hello. It's nice to see you. So, long story short, as you guys know the routine about what happened in court. We've been screaming corrupt county for a really long time. They've been trying to railroad me in my advocacy for the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And we've been going through here and we're like, how in the world is this going on? Then I was arrested for speaking, for the love of Christ, literally speaking on my channel from the state of Florida. And somehow that was a violation of law in Tennessee for me speaking. I'm surprised they didn't require me to stop breathing, right? This is a national interest case.
The date on this is May 9th. Today. She got this today.
Hashtags do not notify people. I have never been around these people. I've never contacted these people. I've never asked people to contact these people. Yet they're trying to say because
someone needs to fix their letterhead. It's really off space up here. Do you guys notice that? The spacing between these addresses over here. I'll circle what I'm looking at. These addresses over here and this list of names. Their spacing is really out of whack. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch. There was something that just happened in the Karen Reed case the other day about a shoe. I don't know where she got it. It's not me. It's not on me. I'm just playing what Betty did and just saying, even if this is real, we have no idea. But if it is, it's not like it's over. She even states that. The ROs are still in place. It's not like if there's not information. That's why I'm just saying, like, don't let this shit ruin your day. We got to continue to have hope because we got to continue to rally around and get louder for these victims and their family. We've got to continue to have hope because if we all give up and say, oh, there's nothing that will be done, Betty gets off on things. Betty is one of so many people that do this exact same shit.
As I hold a show that because I hold a show that is contact to them. Well, apparently everybody must be blowing their entire phones off up so much so they have to turn these phones off, you know. So here it
I would hope none of them would do this.
is right here. No true bill. No true bill. So when they had to present this case to actual people instead of their ecosystem of corruption, no true bill. This did not pass the, I was not indicted. There is no indictment against me. The only thing they were able to do was railroad me while it was in their control. And when it was outside of their control, we had a win. We had a win. I did not break the
Don't give up, people. Don't give up. Don't take your ball and go home. Like Love Louie said, it's not time yet. It's not time.
law. I've never broken the law. I've never broken the law in the freaking state of Tennessee. I haven't even gotten a blessed speeding ticket. Never seen these people. Never tried to interview these people. Never stalked these.
In the court record, just so everybody knows, I did look myself before I even came on here. There is nothing in the Sumner courts yet that is updated. Will that come later today? I have no idea. I don't know where she got this from. She says from the internet. I'll play that again. But that's what I'm saying. Don't take your ball and go home yet. Even if she doesn't get indicted on those 6 charges, that she's still got an RO active. She's still got to go through the appeals. And will they find more things to violate her on? I have no idea. We just have to wait and see. We have to continue to have hope, which I know is hard. But we've got to find it in. Nope. And these people are facing huge fucking losses right now. Huge. Pennsylvania is a huge loss for them. Huge loss.
These people. I posted a blessed sign of their missing child on a pole. Hardly the crime of the year in light of a child being gone.
I highly doubt the grand jury got to see any of the videos. I don't think so. In fact, I don't know what they would have seen for evidence to begin with. Like, I have no idea. Yeah, I've got questions, but I'm just showing you guys what Betty said. I have no idea. But even if this is real, it's still not over.
Gone and missing and disappearing from their house, but they wanted to change the station. They wanted to make this a distraction. They wanted to blame Betty for everything. And at the end of the day, I didn't break the law. I haven't broken the law. I've never violated a protective order, and I don't have any reasons to have that protective order in place. So for all the people out there, oh, by the way, JLR and his, I kept trying to tell you that everybody says they have these sources because they play the odds, right? 90% of everything that goes before the grand jury is indicted. 99.9% of just about everything that goes before the grand jury is indicted. I personally believed I was going to be indicted myself because 99.9% of all cases that go before the grand jury are indicted. So he played his odds. He didn't have a source in Sumner County like he says he does. He never has sources anywhere. When he gets these sources, these unknown sources, like I tried telling you, they're all made up sources, okay?
Yes, they are.
He does not have people just like these yahoos all out there for the last 2 days.
This is why I came on right away. Normally I don't come on, but I wanted people to continue. I've just been seeing everybody's like so depressed and like, I give up. Why? The ROs are still in place. These 6 violations, if this is true, were really early on in August. Think of all the shit that's happened before. A judge recused himself off this case. Will they have more that they could do? I have no idea.
Saying I was indicted, I was indicted, I was indicted. And here we go. No true bill. The proof is in the pudding.
I mean, you guys, I can pause that so you can see when she goes backwards. Hold on.
Oh, no true bill.
There you go. You can look at it full screen. Here you go. Like, do I know if it's real or not? No, I'm just showing what Betty's showing. That's it. There's nothing updated in the court system yet, but the date of this letter is the 9th. It's to her bond company from the DA's, the district attorney general. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just showing what they're showing. That's it.
Bill, the proof is in the pudding. So much for their unknown sources in the courthouse. So everybody that said that they had unknown sources in the courthouse.
He's more pissed off about JLR making a post about somebody on the team being indicted. Do you see what she's doing here? That caught me off guard too. The way she's acting about this is really weird. Am I wrong? Her behavior in this is weird to me. That's it. Something's off here. She's unsettled by this. Even if this is true, she's not okay with this.
You know damn good and well they were full of shit because they don't make this type of mistake. They played the odds because 99.9% of all cases before them are indicted. But the problem here is these people cannot testify under oath if they've ever seen me, that I've ever contacted them, or they've ever heard me tell somebody to contact them, because I've never done those things. And I am very, very thankful right now that this did not pass the grand jury, that they were actually paying attention and they actually saw this for what this is, a pile of shit. And Sumner County should be embarrassed. Absolutely, utterly embarrassed. But this doesn't stop. The protective orders are still in place.
Right there. This doesn't stop. The protective orders. She knows that even if this is the grander, if this is what they decided, she's still nervous. She's still nervous. This is not her arrogant behavior of I won something.
And we still have appeals that we have to win, which now we know the appeals are winnable. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we're going to,
the appeals have nothing to do with this. This is violations. Yeah, no. No, like that's what I'm saying. Like, and her behavior on top of it, like things aren't adding up here. I just got your text.
To get ahead of this, we're already ahead of this. We just need as much as we can. If you guys can donate to my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, we still have.
The appeals are for the ROs. Has nothing to do with the violations. The appealables. Yeah, she said the appealables. Yeah, let's go back. This is why I wanted to come on here because I see people just like so depressed. I'm leaving the internet. I can't believe you guys don't do this. Don't give up. Some of you get it. Some of you get why I'm like, no, keep the faith.
Which now we know the appeals are winnable.
The appeals are winnable. The appeals have to do with the ROs. These were completely separate situation. What went to the grand jury was the 6 violations of the protection order. She is appealing the RO, the grounds for the RO, basically the service, shit like that. Nothing to do with one another.
So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we're going to get ahead of this, we're already ahead of this. We just need as much as we can. If you guys can donate to my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal.
I find it really interesting that she's more pissed off about JLR's post and using this as an opportunity to push her funding. She's really nervous. We need more money. We need more money. Why do you need more money if the appeals are winnable? Haven't you raised enough if you have this in the bag? If you have nothing to be nervous about and you have your appeals, why do you need more money? Oh, because you have a huge anti-slap loss that you are going to have damages on too?
Still have an
you and your buddies?
Appeal that I have to get through. I've already reached out to my attorney, the attorney that's handling the appeal, and let him know this information. So we are on go now, and we're going to be getting through these appeals as much as.
And we have to think too logically, Wendy. She initially said that she was charged with violations because she threatened to sue someone. Then she said it was hashtags. Think about after a judge ruled and told her this family no longer exists to you. This family no longer exists to you. And what did she do? We also have to remember a judge just recused himself because of potential threats to the bench. And it was handed over to another judge who made this ruling. We have no idea what type of evidence the prosecutors, the district attorney, anybody has. We have no idea what they're working with. But we have to continue to have hope that sooner or later that the court system and justice will protect the victims. We have to.
As possible. This is a great a great end to the week right before Mother's Day. This is a breath of fresh air. Finally, we get a win in the right column. I'm just, for the life of me, can't figure out how somebody can go into a county, never break a law, and still get arrested in America in 2025. If I had not have personally witnessed it and gone through it, I would never, ever, ever believe it would happen this day and age.
Hell yes, lunatic. We're not going to let people like this ruin our days, because at the end of the day, look what they're doing to victims and their families. They're intentionally trying to ruin the lives of victims and their families while they are going through their worst time. We're not backing down. We're not stopping the fight. We're not taking this as a loss. We just have to continue to hope, and we have to continue to push and show people how problematic this is and what it is, what's happening. More people need to be aware of the bullhorn Bettys out there in the world who are doing this to victims and their families. We have to use our voices to get louder. That's it. That's all.
But we have seen what corrupt counties can do when you are an outsider and they don't like your commentary. This has cost me a lot, not only to my reputation, but it has cost me a lot to me financially, to my channel, to everything that I've had to go through because of this nonsense.
Wah, wah, wah. You drove from Florida to Tennessee willingly and stalked and harassed and jumped out of traffic behind Terry Bauer socks. I've heard people still continue to say, he pulled up behind her. He pulled up behind her. I don't really. Well, she ended up behind him in traffic, jumped out of the vehicle. He didn't jump out of the vehicle when he drove behind her. He was already there shopping. That's his community. She drove from Florida to another state to do this to victims and their families. You justifying it makes you look foolish.
They can all kiss my white breaded ass.
Oh,
Fuckers.
There you go.
Okay, now that I got that out of my system, we are now able to move forward. I'm not in fear of going to jail anymore, and it's time to get out there and start searching for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I will be scheduling a search at my earliest possible convenience. I've got a couple more little.
So she needs more money so she can go back to the community that she shouldn't even be in to begin with.
Things we've got to work out, and then we're getting out there. And I say we start working from Portland all the way back down to Hendersonville. That's my personal viewpoints. But everybody,
in other words, Betty needs a vacation, a summer vacation funded by her subs so she can go harass people in Oregon, because some random tip came in by Ford's Pond that there's zero proof of that they were ever in Oregon. But sure, let's run with it.
That's been on here using this, manufacturing this, providing this illusion, then having me arrested and sitting on here acting like I've done these horrible things when all I've done is speak. Everybody can kiss my white breaded ass. Freedom of speech is still free here in this country. Oh, thank you, Smiley. God bless you for that. But
again, you have freedom of speech until it starts impeding on the rights of another. Carry on.
Like I said, again, we are there's no longer a little dangle over my head. Bullhorn Betty did not break the law. Bullhorn Betty has not broken the law in flipping years.
Well, fuck Pika. I didn't know there was a Portland in Tennessee. I wouldn't be shocked if she's talking about fucking Oregon, though, as smart as this fucking team is. But that would make a little bit more sense. Portland, Tennessee. Okay, I can give you that.
In Sumner County, the people that did this, Lisa Byington, all of you, y'all can kiss my white breaded ass.
Telling a detective that has all of your violations and has watched how you behave on social media to kiss your white breaded ass probably isn't a smart idea, but I fucking love this for you. This is why I'm like, people stop getting disappointed. Let Betty get all arrogant and cocky and shit. Let her do it.
How dare you do this to anybody? And let alone somebody with a public platform such as myself that does this every single day for a living. And you try to tell me that this is that I
Thank you for admitting that you stalk victims and harass their families and misinform for a living on the daily. We know that. More people will be enlightened to know that too over time.
I'm not what I am. I can be anything under the Constitution. I'm not under one hat. I'm an activist, an advocate, a searcher, a commentator, a news organizer. I'm everything. Don't label this woman. Don't label this woman, because while you're sitting there labeling me, I'm running circles around you. Just saying, justice prevailed. Amen. Amen. God bless you guys. Michelle gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Michelle thank you.
We aren't giving up, you guys. We're not giving up, because let her do what she's going to do. Again, she showed this publicly. Do we know that there's anything? The docket's not even available yet. So, I mean.
Thank you, and welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room. Welcome aboard, Penny. And Patty says, congrats, win, 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 win all day long. It is a win all day long, and we're very thankful. B. Tim is dumb, dumb, dumb. Once again, congratulations. All these people are dumb. You know, they can paint the illusion, but when it comes down to where the rubber.
I find it interesting that she says out of her own mouth that she thought she was getting indicted too. I find that really ironic that she says she thought she was getting indicted. Well, if you didn't do the things that you were being accused of, why did you think you were getting indicted?
Meets the road, they're always missing a tire. I'm just saying. So I thought we'd come. I just found this out myself. Hell, I didn't even have this. I tried to look all over to find out what was going on. This was all informed to me, and other people have it. I got to tell you, social media.
Why do you think we're here, people? Listen to the words that she just said. She has not spoken to her attorney even yet. Listen to it again.
All these people are dumb. You know, they can paint the illusion, but when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, they're always missing a tire. I'm just saying.
Bye, Wendy.
So I thought we'd come. I just found this out myself. Hell, I didn't even have this. I tried to look all over to find out what was going on. This was all informed to me, and other people have it. I got to tell you, social media rocks, because social media content creators had this letter right here before my attorneys did. None of my attorneys have this yet. So,
what?
So, just to let you know. I don't know how, but they do. But they do. So maybe they should.
He's nervous as fuck, spiritual being. Even if this is real, again, the no true bill just means there wasn't evidence that they presented enough evidence for those 6 charges. It doesn't mean that they can't find more evidence on those 6, redo them. It doesn't mean that they can't violate on other things. It doesn't take the ROs away. It doesn't really do anything. The appeals process still has to go through. All it would mean, no matter what, is that they will either have to violate her on other things if they have evidence of her violating, or they will have to have evidence to recharge on the same things. All it means is the court process continues, but the ROs are still in place. And I was iffy about those violations to begin with because they were so early on. Wendy and I have mentioned that repeatedly. Those violations were really early on. And think of all of the things, how many court hearings have happened since then. And the judge has, said, this family no longer exists to you, and what her behavior has been like after that. Think about the judge that just had to recuse himself because of potential threats to the bench. There's been a lot that has happened since then.
Should have tried to come up with something more convincing than hashtags, which we were said over and over again is not a form of contact. Exactly. Absolutely 100%.
I can go back to where she pauses like right here and show you. I don't have the letter. That's why I'm just showing what Betty's showing. Like, just showing what Betty's showing. This is all you can see. Yeah, it says she's not required to be in court on the 23rd. She doesn't say in particular, Kim. She doesn't address by name. I can go back to where she said it again. This is the supposed letter. Let's go back here.
All the way back down to Hendersonville. That's my personal. In having me arrested and sitting on here acting like I've done these horrible things when all I've done is speak, everybody can kiss my white breaded ass. Freedom of speech is still free here in this country. Oh, thank you, Smiley. God bless you for that. God bless you for that. But like I said, again, we are no longer, there's no longer a little dangle over my head.
But we also, those of us that have been paying attention, so they chose to violate on those first ones, right? And then her behavior escalated, in my opinion. It escalated. So are they just been gathering and collecting and opted to not? Are they waiting for the appeals to be sorted out on the ROs? And then there's so many different things that could happen here. Again, the docket is not updated, just so you know. That's not from the docket. It's not updated.
Bullhorn Betty did not break the law. Bullhorn Betty has not broken the law in flipping years. And Sumner County, the people that did this, Lisa Byington, all of you, y'all can kiss my white breaded ass.
Betty is one of a major growing trend of problems. Betty isn't in this alone. She is being amplified by people like Tony Mathis, At Night Media, all of the little content creators that couldn't stand her until it became beneficial for them to play nice because they're on the same team.
How dare you do this to anybody? And let alone somebody with a public platform such as myself that does this every single day for a living, and you try to tell me that that I'm not what I am. I can be anything under the Constitution. I'm not under one hat. I'm an activist, an advocate, a searcher, a commentator, a news organizer. I'm everything. Don't label this woman. Don't label this woman, because while you're sitting there labeling me, I'm running circles around you. Just saying.
Bitch, you're not running circles around anything. That left tit is a tripping hazard. You couldn't run. You'd be flat on your fucking face. Let's just be honest here. There ain't no running that you've done today, yesterday, anytime in the last year. You don't run circles around anyone mentally, physically, or any other shape or form.
Justice prevailed. Amen.
Justice prevailed. All it says is that a grand jury, if this is correct and this is valid, all it says is that 13 random jurors didn't have enough information to even understand probably what was going on. This is why we have to continue to inform the public. We have to continue to get loud. We have to continue to make it highlighted what these people do to victims and their families, so people in our communities are aware. So when they do sit on a jury, they understand that this is the reality that these victims and their families are facing. That people like Bullhorn Betty and what she incites online is dangerous for victims and their families. We have to continue to push back. And we also have to continue to have faith. If we give up and don't have faith, what are we doing?
Amen. God bless you guys. Michelle gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Michelle thank you and welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room. Welcome aboard, Penny. And Patty says, congrats, win, 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 win all day long. It is a win all day long. And
oh my God, to whoever just sent me that, hold the fuck up. Okay, so we're at 9 minutes. Let me go back to where she shows this again. If you guys can zoom in on your phones, look right here at this email, the jcmanagement.js jo@gmail. Look at the handwritten.com. If this is legit, it is the most unprofessional document I've ever seen. The margins are off. Whoever just spotted that, you know who you are. That just texted me. What the fuck? Look at that right here. Right here, .com. It's handwritten in there. What the hell? If this is real,
Oh, no true bill. So when they had to present this case to
I
actually,
wonder if this is why Betty's so nervous about showing it. I wonder if she probably didn't even look at this motherfucking thing.
says congrats, win, 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 win all day long. It is a win all day long, and we're very thankful. B Tim is dumb, dumb, dumb. Once again, congratulations. All these people are dumb. You know, they can paint the illusion, but when it comes down to the
Again, no matter what, even if it is real, this is what Betty's showing. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a judge. We're here to talk about the fact that even if this is real, it's not like she's trying to make it out to be. She's acknowledging, and look at her behavior. She's fucking nervous. She's nervous for some reason about this. She isn't her true arrogant self. She isn't acting and like puffing her chest like Betty normally does. You can look at when she got kicked out of JLR's group and lost her badge. She was more pissed about that. You know, this bitch would be on here puffing those fucking peacock wings, flying all over. Something has her nervous here. Rez, this is crazy. It's just crazy. And her people are scheduling their lives. This is a win for freedom of speech. Bitch, you don't even like Betty. Shut the fuck up, BJ. You don't like Betty. The only reason why you're sucking Betty's ass right now is because Tony told you in order to be on the team, you had to promote Betty. Like, shut up. You guys, your co-plaintiff here and you lost a huge fucking lawsuit in Pennsylvania. Let's talk about that. Betty is fucking nervous.
Where the rubber meets the road, they're always missing a tire. I'm just saying. So I thought we'd come. I just found this out myself. Hell, I didn't even have this. I tried to look all over to find out what was going on. This was all informed to me, and other people have it. I got to tell you.
Fuck yes, Amy. Fuck yes. More people are waking up to it all the time. I don't know, Perry. I don't know what this is. She's going to say where she got it from in a minute. I took it back so you guys could hear this. She's going to say
social media rocks because social media content creators had this letter right here before my attorneys did.
Right there. Social media content creators had this before her attorneys did. Wouldn't you want to wait for your attorneys? Wouldn't you want to
this was all informed to me and other people have it. I got to tell you, social media rocks because social media content creators had this letter right here before my attorneys did. None of my attorneys have this yet. So, just to let you know, I don't know how, but they do. But they do. So maybe they should have tried to come up with something more convincing than hashtags, which we were said over and over again is not a form of contact. Exactly. Absolutely 100%. Congratulations, my beautiful. Thank you. The real me too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic news. Amen to that. And, Tired of Boy's also controversial. And I got to be honest with you. I was not a Turtle Boy fan and everything like that until my case.
I just fucking love this for her. Everybody was getting kind of mad at me in the beginning because I'm like, look, even if this is true, this isn't over. If it's not real and oh God, she put it out here though. None of us did. She put it out here. I don't know where she got it. She's not saying what creators had this, but how would creators have had this? How would creators have gotten access to this before her? Can anybody tell me that? I mean, this is why like people are like losing their minds. It's the biggest deal ever. It's not on the docket, as we know. It's not. I'm sorry, I'm making potato or macaroni salad for dinner. We got to continue the hope.
BTM is dumb. Once again, congratulations. All these people are dumb. You know, they can paint the illusion, but when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, they're always missing a tire. I'm just saying.
You know who's dumb? The person who gets on here gets this document not from their attorneys, but some random content creator online, and comes on here and starts flipping off and telling the the detective to kiss your white breaded ass. That person might be a little bit more dumb than you are. That person, well, that is you. Never mind. That is you. That's you I'm talking about, who just got on here and started flipping people off, talking shit about the Judge Blanton, that had to recuse himself for potential threats. You also admitted that you thought that the grand jury was going to indict you. I mean, that person might be dumber than anybody else I know. Truly.
So I thought we'd come. I just found this out myself. Hell, I didn't even have this. I tried to look all over to find out what was going on. This was all informed to me, and other people have it. I got to tell you, social media rocks, because social media content creators had this letter right here before my attorneys did. None of my attorneys have this yet. So, you know, just to let you know, I don't know how, but they do. But they do. So
she doesn't know how these creators got it. She didn't question it. She hasn't heard from her attorneys, but she came live to brag and win. Again, let me go back over here just in case, because even if this is real, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. This is still what Tennessee's laws state on a no true bill. Even if they didn't indict her on those 6 violations that were done in August, that was early on. Since then, there's so much. Petty, did you see that handwritten.com in there? But I mean, hey, I'm not, it's not my job to sit here and determine if it's legit or not. I'm just showing you what they're doing and telling you to remain hopeful, because no matter what, even if they didn't indict her, even if the appeals are still in process, she admits that the ROs are still in process, there's a lot of room here. Will it happen? I have no idea. But let them go live and brag and boast and talk about free speech. They just hugely lost a case in Pennsylvania that they're going to have to pay damages on. Let them do their victory laps all over the place. They look silly. We're going to remain hopeful, because we're going to get louder and let the court process play out.
Maybe they should have tried to come up with something more convincing than hashtags, which we were said over and over again is not a form of contact. Exactly.
She's more angry about the JLR post saying that she was indicted than anything else. She's more angry about the JLR post, and she's more interested in, oh, she is nervous as fuck. I don't care who disagrees with me. She is nervous as fuck. She is unsettled. She doesn't know what to think. She knows that it's not over.
Absolutely, 100%. Congratulations, my beautiful. Thank you. The real me too. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic news. Amen to that. And, you know, Turtle Boy is also controversial. And I got to be honest with you. I was not a Turtle Boy fan and everything like that until my case. And I realized now, granted, I still think he went overboard following people to games and stuff like that. That's a little more than I would have done. But in all fairness, I probably would have followed somebody to a hairdresser or a restaurant. And I still don't think that it's a criminal offense if you're there for news gathering purpose.
I mean, I love this for her. This is why I might be in the minority, which is usually where I land. I usually land on an island all by myself, which I'm okay with, but I'm not hating this. Sorry. I'm not hating this. And I think some of you realize why. She's nervous. Why?
Purposes.
She's not peacocking.
But either way, one thing that they said in the Massachusetts case is that he is a journalist. And I think that that's important because we are journalists and we have every single protection that every single.
Absolutely. They can find new evidence on the same things. They can charge her on other things. There's a lot of room right here. She still has the appeals to go to. The ROs are still in place. They could violate her on other things. These were the initial, right away violations. There has been nothing but problems that have done, and she's has caused for herself since. She has been arrogant. She has been puffing her chest. When the judge told her this family no longer exists, she doubled down and said, "Watch me." Got even more aggressive with it. Posted all those other Sebastians just to peacock around. The judge just recused himself because of potential threats to the bench, which he tried blaming on Kodo and I that sent them to him. No, bitch, those were your own words when you mentioned his grandchildren. Your own words. And that clip was brought out after the court hearing where he had already recused himself. So good try on that one too. Betty is nervous. This ain't Betty with a win. Something else is going on here.
Single journalists, mainstream media, and all have. And it seems so easy that law enforcement, as well as the state attorney's office, have forgotten that and need to go back to school. And lastly, follow the damn laws. None of this would have been going on right now if Judge Ron Blanton would have followed the damn statutes. I was afforded 5 days. They gave me 48 hours to get there from Florida. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. If he would have followed the damn law, none of this would be going on right now. Absolutely none of this. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. E Crime Cast, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll pull the video that they played in court right after this for you guys.
I appreciate it. Who else do we have? Fantastic news from Spearing Mystic. Thank you so much. We have Elizabeth. Congrats, baby. Betty, we stand behind you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hold on a second. I appreciate that. This has been a long time coming. I got to tell you, this hit me so much all at once, so quickly that I haven't even had an opportunity to really, take it all in, because I've just been fighting and fighting and fighting so much against this lawlessness and this failure to follow their own laws in the state of Tennessee, in this one county of Sumner County, Tennessee, which is where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. And if they keep getting all the investigative work related to me and my case wrong, how do we feel about them investigating Sebastian's case?
I am right there with you, pretty. I'm with you. That's why I'm like, remain hopeful, people. There's a lot that can go on here.
And that's how you have to look at it. Like, if they truly believed half the horse shit that Chris and Katie were peddling to them, if they believed that, what's the hope of ever finding Sebastian? Because it is like the blind leading the blind. It's like the blind leading the blind. So again, the grand jury did not bring back a true bill. They did not indict me. I'm glad to hear that even the most corrupt counties can't get past their own grand jury. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys eat that up. I've got a lot of work to do today. I heard about this, and I just wanted to let everybody know that the good guys won in this case. The good guys won. So rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something.
I heard about this. That's very secure.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
From some random content creators that had this before you.
And until next time, please be safe.
She's fucking uneasy. Sorry, she is.
But more importantly, kind to one another. God bless you guys. And remember, the good guys did win. And thank you for those last two.
The good guys did win. She thanked somebody. This is the one that they played. Let's listen to the arrogant Betty in this one.
phone number if you ever want to talk. I am so sick and tired of these idiots on freaking YouTube. Always got my name in their mouth. Hey, Justin, you have my phone number if you ever want to talk to me instead of talking about me. Just saying. So much for loyal friendship, right? I don't say boo about you, dude. And if you think that I'm talking about you when I say the trash on YouTube, then you probably are part of the trash on YouTube. I'm just saying. Keep my fucking name out of your damn mouth. You don't know what the hell is going on. And quite frankly, I've lost all respect in you when you decided to back up Trevor Lee with his bad behavior. So there is that. There is that. But everybody knows I'm done with the trauma and drama of the true crime scene here on these platforms. That's what
You would think she would be giddy. You would think. No, this is the one that they played in court. This is the video that they played in court. This is from August 22nd, 2024.
why I've distanced myself from everybody. And of course, everybody still talks about me. So it looks like I'm more powerful than them because nobody's talking about them. And as far as I'm concerned, Justin can stay the hell away from me forever. I just wanted to be away from him for this case because he's just wrong on all levels. But now he can just stay the hell away from me. I want nothing to do with him. Absolutely. After this is all said and done, we're done. We're done. And he's going to act like he doesn't care until he does.
She admits in the video we just watched from today, she didn't even get this from her attorneys. Her attorneys don't even have this yet. She got it from some random content creator. We have no idea what's going on here. We're just playing Betty's words and showing a comparison of this is arrogant Betty. This is the video they played in court. Today's Betty is unsettled Betty, upsetty Betty. She's not the win, puff her chest, peacocking all over Betty. She knows that even if this is legit and the grand jury did not indict her, that they can turn around and refile and provide more evidence. They can go before another grand jury. There's all sorts of things that can happen. This ain't over yet. That's why she's begging for more money. She knows.
Care because how many times has he called me while I've been out on the road and in the field, not like his idiot friends, and he can't get them. Like, right? You can't get JLR on the phone, can you? You got to call fat ass to get his attention. So there is that. It just is. It's very irritating, but I don't really care. I don't really care. This is my problem. Is everybody just goes with whatever they think, whatever they're being told. They don't do any due diligence. That's my biggest problem with the trash here on YouTube and the true crime genre.
A couple of you just messaged me, texted me the exact same thing. Yes, I agree with you, and I'll say it publicly. I agree with you. If for some reason that this document is correct, as Betty is showing it, how these content creators are getting it before her attorneys is concerning to me. Does that mean there's somebody in the clerk's office or something releasing this to content creators? How are content creators gaining access to this? Facebook creators are gaining access to this before it's on the docket. That would be concerning to me. Because she says flat out her attorneys don't even have this yet. I don't know.
They just go with whatever's going to give them the click and the view. And you know what, Justin? You can keep my name out your mouth, or you can freaking call me for, maybe I have you blocked. I don't know. I mean, I probably do have blocked. I blocked just about everybody on your team. So there is that. There is that. Hey, guys, it's nice to see you. And this is on 5 days, so if anybody's in here running their mouth for my mods, just block them. I really don't care. We don't need the click and the view. We're just fine over here on this channel. I damn sure don't need to be putting somebody else in my title. Oh my God, what's going on with BHB? You know what's going on with me? Freaking liars. And he's now, Justin, I want to tell you something from me to you. You are part of the Roach channel. These people lied. Instead of doing the right thing, once again, you do the wrong thing. So I've got nothing to say for you. We're done. Like DONE, done. Stick a fork in it, done. Don't ever call me. Don't ever reach out to me. You want to war with me? That's fine. I don't war with people. What I do is I cut them off and cut them out. So you took a problem that was just going to be a case problem and you made it a forever problem. I just want to let you know. And if you want to change that, you know my number and you can call me.
but I guarantee you won't because you're too busy talking about me versus actually talking to me. So again, there is that. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. We're on the road again. No, I did not need to be at that court hearing. Just to let you know, I did not need to be at that court hearing today, no matter.
So this is what she's appealing on. She's appealing saying that she didn't have time. Well, here are the videos that are confirming that she knew what was going on, that supposedly her attorney had already been on it. This is why this section was played in the courtroom, in my opinion.
No matter what these people say to you, I did not need to be at that court hearing. My attorney specifically told me I do not need to show up, period. So if my attorney tells me I do not need to show up and he did not show up in court, there must be a reason for that. So there is that. But people are too stupid and have their facts so messed up that they would rather talk about me. But hey, I bring in the clicks and the views. Maybe I should have put Bullhorn Betty in my own title, right? Right? I'm so sick of the lies. I'm so sick of the deception. I'm so sick of the manipulation of people's channels in an effort to attack Bullhorn Betty, which all I've done is try to keep Sebastian's name front and center with all the attacks I've gotten, not even the 3 years prior to, just the attacks for supporting Seth, right? Because I saw a man that was struggling, I saw a man that was innocent, and I saw a man being attacked by vultures for content. And I put my channel in front of him and the vultures. And you know what? It's pretty sad when your friends turn into the vultures you're trying to protect an innocent father from. So it's like, oh my God, let me tell you something about Trev Time, right? Trevor Lee. He has lost his reputation because he's a pompous idiot that chose to take his girlfriend, a married woman, by the way, that he was sleeping with, by the way, allegedly, by the way. And because
her attorney told her not to show up. That attorney no longer exists. But there's that. I think you get the difference of Betty, though. What do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think Betty is just confident right now about all this? Do you really believe that Betty is confident in her win? What do you think? Tell me what you think. Because I don't. That's why when I saw people like freaking out already about it, like worrying, I'm like, nah, I'm not worried yet. There's still a court process that's got to play out. She sounds nervous. I do find it hysterical that her team is making lives freedom of speech, win for freedom of speech. Most of you fuckers don't even like Betty. Let's be honest. You're just playing an act for Team Tony. Well, she has a lot on her mind. Sorry, let me find a lid. Let's find it in a minute. Doesn't look like a victory lap to me either. Not at all, especially when you have to admit this didn't come from your attorneys. Can you imagine getting on the internet and being like, I had to get this from other content creators? I really hope somebody didn't fake this, though. I mean, if they did, I hope whoever did it would be charged and prosecuted for faking shit like that. But Betty should be questioning the people she got this from. How did you happen to get this before my attorneys did? That would be concerning to me. That would be concerning. There's nothing in the docket, you guys, either. I can't tell if it's real or not. I have no idea. Nope, you can't. You can see the top of it, but that's it. You can see the handwritten.com. Let me go back to that. What she's showing here. There you go. There you go. Scroll in. Again, I can understand that, but falsifying court documents isn't something we can stand and say, good job on, or it's not really a court document. I guess it's just a letter. But it's got like the district attorney, assistant district attorney on it. So that might be problematic. And I don't stand for any type of falsification of that type of stuff. But Betty's the one that put it out here publicly, not us. I know, Kim, they're all saying like charges have been dropped. That's why I love this for them, because they're saying all charges has been dropped. Yeah, there's 6 violations if true. These 6 violations were declined to indict on if true, but it doesn't mean that it's done. They can find new evidence, have more evidence, refile the same ones, refile new ones. There's all sorts of stuff. Well, could be red flats, could be somebody from her bond company. Oh, wait. Could they have sent it to the bond company? Could they have sent it to whoever signed her bond? You would think that it would be, I don't know though. I don't know. It seems to me that I would spend more time calling my attorneys and verifying it though, besides doing this. Well, the .com right here is really sketch too. I mean, there's just a ton of shit you can find on here. The more you guys are looking through it too. The margins up here are odd. The .com. If you are late or miss a court, FTA warrant will be issued. That's a bond receipt for something. Yeah, it's interesting. I can't tell what that is. ADA. That's what it says by division. ADA. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This isn't over, though. Again, everybody can be upset and have a bad day if you want to. I'm choosing not to, because we just got to get louder. If this is real, then she wasn't charged on those 6. Doesn't mean it's over. The RO stands in place. Victims and their voices need to take priority. People need to know this continues to happen. Betty is one of a growing trend of victims and their families being harassed. We've got an appeal. We've got active ROs. They could still violate. They could violate on the same charges, just provide additional evidence if they find or have it. There's so much here that could happen. It's not over yet. What's the saying go? It's not over till the fat lady sings. I sing a lot, but I'm not singing today. So we're not taking our ball and running home. We're not throwing the towel in. Let them puff their chests and look like the idiots they are. There are so many areas of opportunity. And at the end of the day, all this is showing is, once again, how much the justice system is behind our current issues. That's it. We're not giving up. We're not throwing in the towel. Let them puff their chest. The more they do this, I want to just continue to point this out. BJ won't fucking talk about her court hearing or read the judge's order because she has to lie to people about it. But she's got a live fucking schedule to puff her chest and say that freedom of speech had a win today. Bitch, you just lost a massive anti-SLAPP suit in Pennsylvania. You should be worried about that. Betty still has ROs. That changes nothing except for those 6 violations. That's it. If true. Doesn't mean they can't recharge. Again, let me show you the law. Go look up the laws yourselves. I'm not lying. Like, this is all, there's potential here still. Chris told us, if you listen to Chris, these court processes are lengthy and they are going through every single one of them. Chris is, when he's explained, he has been telling us that these are lengthy court processes that, you know, ultimately, of course, we don't know the outcome it's going to be, but there is certain things that just have to go through the motions. I'm going to continue to have hope that sooner or later the justice system will start protecting victims and their families. But again, I'm not going to lose faith. If they continue to fail families, we have to get louder. Because Betty is one of a growing trend of problems. Look at the other 9 plaintiffs. Again, you don't have to like Seth Rogers, but those 9 grimy ass individuals latched on to the parent of a missing child at his worst times to take out personal vendettas against 2 single moms. They lost, but they still won't take any accountability. And they're just moving around here like nothing. Damages are coming. And now you have one trying to pretend she's a victim of all this other but bitch, shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Shut up. Yes, they do, Amy. And what did we ask the other day? Who was it that asked? I don't remember which one of you it was. When we started doing the Tony at night breakdown, which I'm going to try to do this afternoon. I just got my macaroni salad made for dinner, so I'm good there. I just got to get my groceries ordered and do a few things upstairs. And then I should be able to do part 3 of that, because the at night portion and the Tony portion get even more interesting. But one of you said, what are they going to do for a distraction? A distraction is needed. Every time the heat is put on and they can't wiggle out of their own words what people see them for, there is always something. There's always some big bullshit between BJ being the complete useful idiot that's not causing enough of a distraction. What's going to be next? Yes, Kim, she says that they are in place, her own words. And it wouldn't change the ROs. She even states that, though. Let me find it. Let me find it for you so you can hear it. Do I believe Betty on everything? No. But when I was reading through, and I actually talked to somebody that's pretty knowledgeable about the law before I did this live, they did say that this basically, the only thing that was packaged to the grand jury was the 6 violations of the protection orders. So no matter what, those will still hold in place, and they will continue to go through the appeals. Let me see. Right here. Here you go. This is where Betty even admits that.
Pile of shit. And Sumner County should be embarrassed. Absolutely, utterly embarrassed. But this doesn't stop. The protective orders are still in place, and we still have appeals that we have to win, which now.
And that's true. Like, I believe that she is being factual on that point, because somebody else that doesn't like Betty on the other side, that's pretty legally sound, in my opinion, hasn't led me astray yet on what their beliefs are or how to like navigate this or anything like that, said that basically all that was sent to the grand jury was those 6 violations. That was just moved to the grand jury for those 6 violations solely, not for the ROs, anything like that. The ROs will remain in place. This is just to do with the violations. The ROs remain. The appeal is still ongoing, but this doesn't it doesn't take it off the table that they can't go back and violate her on those same things. If they have more evidence, more sufficient evidence, they can violate on other charges. They could do all sorts of different things. Do I think they might be, if this is true and correct, that the grand jury didn't indict her on those 6? Do I think they might wait until the appeals are gone through and then violate her? Maybe. I have no idea. In my opinion, from an outsider looking in, what seems logical to me is that if there is other violations that they are secure in, that they would wait for the appeals to go through, win the appeal, and they should have sufficient information, because she went on the court or the news station. She talked about it in that video, saying her attorney told her she didn't have to be there. She was very knowledgeable about the court. She knowingly didn't show up for court. She knew about these ROs. She knew what was going on with them. She acknowledged all of it very publicly. So they have that in their hand. So no matter what, will they find something to grant the appeal? I have no idea. I'm not an attorney. But let's say that the ROs are held up and she loses the appeal. It would be in their favor at that point in time, in my opinion, to charge her with any of the other violations, because then you've already played out the appeals. They know that the ROs stand. And then once there's no appeal, I thought they were going to have a hard time. I was shocked that they were even doing a grand jury before the appeal, because if the appeals were granted and she was charged by the grand jury, it's kind of backwards. Do you see what I'm saying? The judge excused himself because of potential threats, alleged threats to the bench. I thought it was kind of ass backwards having discussions with people, because let's say that the grand jury would have indicted her or did indict her on these 6. Well, if she wins the appeal, then the ROs go away as is. So then these violations, there would be nothing to have these violations on. It's kind of ass backwards. So I believe this is kind of more of an even footing and puts us back to square one. It's going to let the appeals, if this is true and somebody isn't trolling her, it puts the precedence on that appeal to make sure that those ROs stand firm. And again, I think even if the appeals are lost, I think the victims could refile ROs on her too. I don't know. But once the appeal is decided on, that will determine whether the ROs stay or not. So that seems more sufficient to me to make sure that those ROs are secure. There's no appeal hanging, and then violate her if they choose to do so, if they have evidence of violations. Then there's none of this, are the ROs going to stick or not? Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Exactly, Tebow. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's why I don't really people get mad at me. I will make jokes about I want Betty to do a packing video and all these things. I will joke around about it, but I'm very careful when I say what I expect or what I know is going to happen or anything like that from court, because the way my brain processes this stuff is a lot different, and I'm not skilled in the justice system, stuff like this, but it just makes more logical sense to get those appeals handled so the ROs are solid. You want to have as solid of a case. So you don't want a defense attorney to be able to go to a grand jury and be like, well, we are currently in the process of an appeal. And the grand jury looks at them and says, well, we don't even know if they're going to hold or not. Why are we going to violate on something that we don't even know if they're right or not? You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of ass backwards. But the one thing I heard over and over again when you've heard Chris talk is the appeals, the court process, everything has to play out. Everything has to go through the motions. Although it sucks, although it feels like there's wins it's not really. That's why I continue to say, please don't let this get you down. Please remain hopeful. Please keep pushing back on these people and using your voice. Even if Betty completely wins this whole thing, it is an example. It's getting in front of the courts. People are starting to talk about it. Those grand jury members will now hopefully go look into things and be like, oh, people are becoming more aware. More cases are being heard in court. The one thing I hate is that victims and their families oftentimes are only protected civilly. They can get a civil win, but it costs them fucking money and time. A lot of times while these families are going through that or these situations, they don't have. So in order to even get any type of justice, they have to go the civil process. But I still have faith in the civil process. I have faith that ultimately someday, it might take us 20 years to see change, but I believe there are enough people, Chico, Duchess, Wendy, I mean, I could name so many of you that continue to show up, continue to use your voices, continue to write letters. There's people in here that have been activists and advocates in their real life, writing letters to local governments, helping change laws in their areas. There's people in here that have testified in Congress. There are people in here that really talk and do these things. They might not have channels. That's why we all play a role. I can show the harm. I can walk it back. I can show their words. So there's a public documentation that the next families can go and see, like, stay away from these people. All of us have a different role in this arena, and we all collectively have to use our voices and do our little parts to get things to change. I don't have the answers of how to get it done, but I know I'm going to continue to have faith, and we're going to continue to work towards it. Janice in accounting, you want to talk about somebody that does so much behind the scenes, so much research? Holy shit. There's so many. Breaking chains. Incredible voice. And these are people I'm so happy to stand beside that really understand and really want. There's so many of you. So we're going to continue on. Does anybody have any questions about where I stand or why I'm saying what I am? Are you going swimming? Yeah. It's a little chilly still for me.
I was waiting until I was not sick anymore, but it's not going away.
It's a little chilly still, but.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I gotta show you the socks I bought chapped. How'd that happen?
The injections.
Oh, for me. Oh, this one?
Yeah, the string.
Sorry, guys. Hold on. I gotta tighten Kenzie's bathing suit. Okay, there you go.
I need to get colored. I need to burn.
Yeah, that's great. Layla, of course. Yeah, it's dreams. I agree. Like, Jade, we don't really know what's going on. So worst case scenario, Jade, she didn't get off in Tennessee, first of all. Like, no matter what, let's say that this is real. So what she showed, let me just do a quick recap here, just so everybody knows what is being talked about, because it will be talked about excessively. And there's a lot of people that are really upset. These are my perceptions, my take on everything. So take it how you will, do your own research. Of course, I'm not a legal anything, but this is why Sunday, I hope people want or now see why I'm like, hold and see. But supposedly Betty got this letter. Now, let me be clear. She states that this letter was from other content creators. Her attorney didn't even have this letter. You'll notice some critical errors on what would be a pretty significant filing, like the handwritten.com in here. There's no stamp. I mean, there's just a lot of things. The margins, it looks very off. But let's say it's real. Let's say that this is real and the grand jury decided to issue a no true bill in regards to the violations. All that was sent to the grand jury was the 6 violations from August of her protection order. Those 6, the first 6 violations of the protection orders. What does a no true bill mean? You can go look it up even further, but it just means that if they found a no true bill, it means that on those 6, the grand jury ruled that there was not sufficient evidence. They were not given enough evidence to indict her on those 6 charges. It does not mean that it cannot go back to the prosecutor if they have other evidence. It doesn't mean that they can't charge her on anything. It doesn't mean that, or violate her on anything else. It does not mean that the ROs go away. So basically what we would have is, if this is true, the grand jury decided to not indict on those specific 6 charges that were filed early in August. Since August, we have had numerous court dates where the judge has only clarified his orders further and further, and Betty has continued to push it. The ROs will remain in place and will continue. There is an appeal on those. Betty has filed for an appeal on those ROs, but those ROs, even Betty states, will stay in place. So could they violate her on other things? Absolutely. Will they? I have no idea. Could they violate her on those same, could they if they have other evidence or more sufficient evidence, they could charge her with those exact same 6 violations from the same dates with additional evidence and take it back to another grand jury. This is so far from over. That's all that means. If this is a true and correct letter. Now, is there questions about the letter? Absolutely, because she claims that her attorneys don't even have this, that she got it from other content creators. Yet Lynn, I mean, there's so many things that she wasn't violated on that I believe that are way more problematic than what they did. That's why I was really shocked when those violations were what rolled out. So Jade, they're puffing their chests and saying, this is a win for free speech. All charges have been dropped. No true bill means that they didn't have sufficient evidence with what they were provided at that grand jury to proceed with an indictment on those charges. It doesn't mean that they can't be refiled. It doesn't mean that additional ones can't be filed. It doesn't mean shit. It's far from over. And we don't know if this is a true and valid copy even because, like I said, she didn't get this from her attorneys. She flat out says her attorneys don't even have this. She got this from another content creator. And people are checking and looking over that document and finding all sorts of things. It's a very, if it's valid, it's a very unprofessional copy. And if these type of documents are being released by somebody in the courthouse, now granted, people have brought up that it could have been sent to the bail bonds and then the bondsman could have sent it on from there. But if it is something that is coming from the courthouse, because the docket is not updated, the last I checked, if it isn't from the bondsman and it is somebody in the courthouse leaking this stuff, that would be a problem. But is it likely from the bondsman? Maybe. I have no idea. Yeah, somebody sent me a shit ton of examples. Well, Emma, chances are we'll probably hear something before then. I mean, the docket will either update with something in it. I'm assuming that the date of this letter is today. So the docket will update with something. And then, then the appeals will go. So no matter what, the ROs stay in place. Then the appeals. If it was me, I would wait for the appeals to go through. This is just my head. Again, not legal anything. But I would wait for those appeals to go through. And then I would come back with all of the other violations. Once that appeal was through and the ROs remained, if they win and the ROs stand and she loses her appeal, which I hope happens because I think there's sufficient proof. I mean, I'm not a judge or an attorney or anything, but I would assume she acknowledged so much publicly. I don't know how that will play out legally, but she acknowledged all of these things. She acknowledged her attorney said she didn't have to be there, like all of the things that she's appealing on. I believe that she said enough publicly that hopefully they will win and she will lose her appeal. But once those appeals are done and over with, then if it was me, I would hit for every fucking violation once that was solid. Because if I was on a grand jury, I'll be honest, if a defense attorney told me that right now there's an appeal on this RO, I don't know if they could have told that though. I'm not sure. But if I was sitting on a grand jury and somebody said, well, these are being, these ROs are being appealed, you don't even know if the basis for the RO is going to hold. So why are we going to criminally violate somebody on that? I just think the process is out of order. And I'm hoping this kind of puts the process in the correct order, if that makes sense. That's my personal opinion on just what I think. But I'm hopeful that this is actually maybe even a better situation than we realize. I don't know. We'll see. Glory, there's a lot of things that are weird about this. There's a lot of things that are weird. But again, have we seen weird documents come from courts? Yeah. I can't prove it. I'm not contacting these people. A DUI coordinator? That's weird. I just saw that. Victim witness coordinator. DUI coordinator. Huh. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It won't be updated, T-Boat? The decision won't be on the docket? Well then, we'll find out when we find out. We'll find out sooner or later. Next process is the appeal. Shit. She was threatening to sue him. I'll go back to this one because this one cracks me up, and then we'll get out of here. And she's nervous. She's nervous. Yeah, I don't either, spiritual being. That's why I'm not willing to say like it's fake or not. I have no idea. But what I love is she put this out here. She told us that it didn't come from her attorneys. And here we are. Even if, like I said, even if it's legit, this still isn't a win. Like she's claiming she's nervous. You can tell she is not very confident even in this. She said publicly, and I love this, that she thought she'd be indicted, which in my opinion kind of is self-admittance that she thinks that they have enough proof to get her on these things. So that's a good thing. She flipped the detective off, talked shit on the judge, begged for money. She's more pissed off about JLR's post saying that she was indicted. All of those things. I love that she's doing this stuff publicly. Do I love that she's harassing and continuing to misinform and blame families? No. But I love the fact that Betty is so arrogant and stupid that she does this shit. And I also love that Betty's tells are very obvious and she's nervous about something.
Kid to be found. Like literally, we talk about stuff that has been on that page almost daily. So clearly they don't want it shared on a public platform that garners thousands, 20,000 people a day on one side and almost 100,000 of people a day on another side. They don't want that kind of exposure. For
this is from May 15th, 2024. You notice the difference in her behavior and how pissed off she was at JLR at this point? Shaby, absolutely. This is just where I land, though. This is where I am continuing to stay, is we got to remain hopeful, because Betty is one of a major problem, a growing trend of problems that we have to push back on, that we have to continue to use our voices. We have to continue to show up. But people like Betty and victims standing up for themselves, like Chris and Katie, it's getting awareness. It's a shitty thing that they have to do it. Trust and believe. I don't wish that on anybody. But I'm also so incredibly proud of victims and their families saying enough and getting this in front of courts, letting the news know about this stuff. Like, they are doing a huge favor to people realizing that this is a growing problem. In order for the courts and people to start catching up, they've got to have some sort of awareness that this is going on.
For this boy, because they have a personality conflict, because I said one thing in disagreement. I've never disagreed with anything on that platform, ever. I want to be very clear about that. I think everybody should be going over there and bitching and raising hell. Every single person that is associated with that page. So let's go over what was actually said so we can get this cleared up real quick.
And we can't forget, too, that after Betty was granted, these ROs were put in place. She was also encouraging a mass mailing campaign. Like, she's done so much since these initial 6 violations were put on her. So much more aggressive, wild behavior, in my opinion, that who knows what they could potentially violate her for. We have no idea. This ain't over yet. And this is before the orders were granted, by the way, too. This was almost a year ago.
So this is the vomit that I had to read yet again, and I'm so sick and tired of it. We love Magnolia and JLR. Now, these are two people that have attacked a grandmother that wasn't even in the state when her grandson went away. They don't have no clue what statements were said to her, but because she's an emotional wreck and she made a statement online, they took that statement and put that lady through a meat grinder.
Speaking of putting people through meat grinders, Betty, what have you been doing to the families of victims over and over again? You've moved on to the one in Canada. You've tried Janae's case. Family after family, you attack. JLR is no different, in my opinion, either, though.
And he says he cares about this while he has 200,000 people on his channel. And put this lady through that. He would have never. He taught me better. He knew better than to do something like this. This is pure vindictiveness. For what?
Doesn't Betty still have depositions to do in her case against Queen Bee? I haven't followed that as extensively, but doesn't she still have to provide to the court like a shit ton of information, like financials and shit? And she's been trying to avoid all that stuff. Isn't that coming up pretty soon? Her time's up for that? Huh. Yeah, Dreams, that's my question. If it didn't come from the bail bondsman, and how did it get released to content creators before the attorneys as is? Like that's pretty, yeah. But this is upsetty Betty. This is like the peacock in Betty. Her energy is completely different. Normally when she's thinks she got a win on somebody or has something over someone, she gets a little bit more aggressive.
I have no idea. So we all say some things about.
No, Dreams, you're spot on. You're spot on about all the things that you're noticing and the problems. I just don't know. Like, I have no idea how this all came about. The 13th, thank you. I have no idea how this all came about or anything. Like, but there is problematic issues here that, in my opinion, could arise. If it's not coming through the bondsman, and Betty didn't get it from her. Like, there's a lot of things here that she said in that. That's why I'm saying, like, don't hate her for bringing all this out publicly. She did this. She said all this. She flipped the detective off. She talked about the judge. She said publicly that she felt she was going to be indicted. She told us all that she didn't get these from her attorneys. Like, all of these things are what she just said.
Them. I had an opportunity to meet both of them when Seth called him to investigate Sebastian Rogers. So you were on the phone and Seth called them. And that may be good and well, but who made the call to him? I don't know.
Blaze, I hope for their sake there's not. I really hope for their sake there's not. Are you talking about Becky Hill?
JLR and Magnolia were treated badly by Seth. I witnessed that with my own eyes. JLR came back and tried again. The last time I heard from every single person out there searching is JLR was not searching. All he was doing was recording. He never used to do that. He used to always search.
Oh, but Betty hasn't been searching either. You know what else I find interesting? The line, what's the response line? Look and listen to who on their team is running with this. If it was me, if I was on their team, which I'd never be, but if I was on team them, I would have said, Betty, did you call your attorney? Until you get this from your attorney, do you really think you should go live with this? Do you think any of those motherfuckers encouraged her? Oh, her grift isn't over. She's begging for money now because she says it's not over. She says the appeals are still on. Her grift is still going.
Always. So that's probably why they called him out there, if they did. I don't know. Either way, I digress. So it goes on in here about condemning Seth because of hurt feelings. This
Speaking of hurt feelings and you condemning people, but carry on.
Man has a child that's missing, most likely dead, and we're worried about people's hurt feelings because they wanted to volunteer their time into a case. Volunteer their own time into a case. But I didn't even read this whole post because it just made me want to vomit. So this is what I said, because she's saying, oh, I was there and I saw Seth treat them poorly. So I simply asked, because, this is, and we would ask this for anybody. Does Sheila live there? How does she know Seth? When did she personally witness this? I have questions, just saying. Lastly, JLR isn't bashful, because I don't understand why people are putting words in his mouth. JLR isn't bashful, so naturally he can speak for himself, and we all know he's been attacking the family as well. It's been posted all over his Twitter page. How do you attack someone when you know they had nothing to do with the disappearance or a crime? I'm sorry, it's just wrong on all levels, including more
The irony in these statements.
early for religious people, religious ones like me. Just
Religious ones like me, you're fucking lying.
my opinion. I'm not wanting to be offensive, but I'm tired of the constant drama stirred up by a small group of people. Take it for what you will. I'm just trying to settle tensions.
Oh, that's what you're doing?
I don't like seeing this stuff.
This was back in May 15th, 2024. It's amazing how we've gotten to where we have today.
Constantly inciting people against Seth when he's lost his son. He's out there trying to find his son. The people that said that they cared about his son and want to help him, every time they turn around, they rip off their sheep clothing and start attacking him like a pack of wolves. And so I have a problem with it. And so I expressed that in a very respectful way. And so the admin, Ellie Mae Farmer, which I truly do believe, and I could be totally wrong, is Magnolia, decided to rip my top contributor badge off just because she could.
She was so much madder about her top contributor badge than anything else.
And so I decided to make a complaint about it and make a big one. And so I said, I posted this in there. I find it funny the minute I disagree with a decision or a statement here, my top contributor badge was removed from my name. That was wrong. I want to say, if you tout you're a First Amendment person, yet you remove a badge when you disagree with you, then you're not a First Amendment person. Mind you, JLR is a person that has activism, has gone all over this country screaming First Amendment. This is a group he's an admin to. And here he is shutting another creator completely down, or being a part of this hot mess group. Remember, Chloe's an administrator. All these people that have caused nothing but problems for Seth seem to be shutting people out, trying to help him. Does that sound like people that really are here for Sebastian Rogers? Meanwhile, they have the largest group here on Facebook peddling that nonsense, and nobody has a problem with it? Out of all the people here,
She's so salty and has continued. I think that just shows, though, a good example of Betty's behavior and how it's gotten so much worse. And it's interesting that her buddy Tony, his first mission, we've listened to him say in part 1, his first mission was to take control over a Facebook group. Betty became a part of the team right in there. Dreams, that was something I said too. I wouldn't want to be a part of anybody fabricating anything that came out of even though it looks like a letter, it's still supposedly from an assistant district attorney. Like, this is some major shit. Major shit. If it's not real and somebody did, you are fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid. But she's more pissed off today, even talking about her win about JLR's post and saying somebody's indicted, than she was anything else. Like, something's weird about this all. Something's so fucking weird. Would it be a stamp, McKenna? Would that be a signature stamp? I don't know. I don't know how all that works. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll see. Grand juries are usually, I don't know, permanently closed. Yeah, you guys are all saying the same thing. People are pointing out all sorts of stuff, but this could be a big fucking deal. But again, I don't give a fuck. I'll be honest, I don't give a fuck. I'm not involved. I would never fabricate a document, and I wouldn't be stupid like Betty to come out and talk about it at all. Period. No way, fucking shape or form would I do what Betty just did and say, I haven't even, my attorneys don't have this. What? What? Like, who does that? Who comes out here and publicly admits, I haven't even talked to my attorney? There's stamps. Like, there's so many things of, like, not my problem. Won't catch me doing dirty shit like this. If it's fucking, like, if this is a fabricated document, holy shit. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea what could be going on. Fuck that. Captain Ganja. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way I would be a part of anything like that. Like, no fucking way. But there's people on this app that fucking falsify attorneys' names and shit. Like, nope, never, nope, nope. Sorry. I am like a lot of people would not do well in jail. And I self-admittedly will not do well in jail. I know my role, and it's not in jail. I would not fare well. I would cry. Not for me. Yep. I'm good. I'm good being a crybaby. Of course, I would probably get stuck in the fucking medical ward because of my pacemaker as is. See, that would be no fun. At least give me some excitement. Would need my hair braided or something. Let me go into the general pop so I can get taught how to put my eyebrows on, and give me a bunkie for like chicken or something. I mean, what about you guys? You tell me. There's something weird. I agree with all of you, but there's no fucking way I would. Nope. Even if I was Betty, I wouldn't have came out, but she did. Here we are. I love it for them. Truly. I love it for them. Sorry. I had to dump that. I got my dinner ready. No, I don't want to let him in. Leave me alone. Why are you talking to me? Hank, come on. Yeah, right? Never been locked up. Yep. Nope. I don't think I want to go either. I mean, that would be really stupid though. Dreams, are you still in here? Wouldn't that be really fucking stupid for somebody? Like, I don't know what Tennessee's or like laws are on fraudulent I don't even want to know. I truly don't want to know. But I'm assuming there would be some pretty hefty. But I also would assume that if there is threats that they can prove to the bench, if somebody was threatening the judge or there was threats to the bench, that would be concerning too. You think it'll be federal, little C? You would not do well. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm telling you, I wouldn't. Nothing shocks me with any of these people, but I do love it. I love it that I love that Betty did this, because now we'll know what goes on from here. Worst case scenario. What do we have? That the grand jury didn't indict her. Let's say it's real. Let's say it's real. Let's say that they didn't indict her on those 6 violations. It's not over. Like I said earlier, it's not over till the fat lady sings, and I'm not singing today. So it's not over. The ROs stay in place. The appeal goes through. There's area of opportunity to violate her on other things. There's area of opportunity to find sufficient evidence on those same charges and resubmit to another grand jury. There's still a lot of room here. We're not taking our balls and running home. We're not. We're not putting them in people's faces either. Okay. We're not running home with them and we're not putting them in people's faces. Everybody agree? Keep your balls to yourselves. We're not sharing them. We're not running home with them. We're not throwing them. We're being kind. Keep them out of everybody's faces. We're just going to hold on to them, but we're not doing anything else with them. That's all I got to say. But I love this. Let them puff their fucking chest. Let them do all the stupid shit right now. Oh, Dreams, I guarantee he's already notified. Guaranteed. Chris is smart. You're going to play dodgeball with yours? Ooh. That might get a little messy. Cotton Candy. I keep reminding myself, if you've listened to him talk, and he has been very well informed by his legal team, I guaranteed. He's very, very thorough with how he speaks. And he has said this is a process and they will be going through the entire process. That's why I'm still saying continue to have hope. We've got things that need to change. We've got voices that need elevated. We're going to continue no matter what. Worst case scenario, if she didn't get indicted on these 6, we still push. We still continue to push. We still continue. Ahmad found, where'd she say that, just Linda? Where'd she say Ahmad found it? Because it wasn't in that video that we just watched. Did she say that in a live stream or something? How would one of her mods have found that? Oh my God. Because she said the internet content creators, her attorney doesn't have it yet. Where did she change that at? How would her mod have found it? Oh, she didn't say a mod. She didn't say a mod. She said somebody, other content creators had it. Other content creators. She didn't say a mod. Yeah, little C, right? You're good, Dreams. You're good. It's what she posted. It's nothing, like, it's not for me. I don't have this. No, you're okay. She just said other content creators had this. Her attorneys didn't even have it yet. I wouldn't either, little C. I wouldn't either. I was just, yeah. Don't be mad at me. This is the shit they're posting. Not me. I'm here for it. Let them run with it. Let them do whatever they're going to do. That's it. I wouldn't put it past any of these people. These people have lost their fucking minds. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I'm out for now. Maybe we'll do a part 3 this afternoon. I just got a few things I need to finish doing. I got to finish my grocery list. But I'm sure we will hear more and more. I'm sure more will come out. I'm sure there will be more things that come out to confirm or deny if it's true or not. And we'll just kind of follow it for where we go. Yeah. I mean, all we're doing is documenting stuff. Blaze, that was from when she was pissed off because she was mad at Justin because I think he was raising money or getting a lot of super chats and somehow she thought it was all to benefit her getting out of jail. Whitebird, we've got to remain optimistic because if you give up the hope, people give up and they just say, oh, there's no purpose in, talking about this. There's nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. No, it takes a whole village. And I'm not mocking any of you. I've just heard that so many times, like nothing's going to change. Yeah. I mean, if we don't do anything, if we don't continue to push back, nothing will change, but it's got to be a whole bunch of people. There's got to be a whole bunch of people because every state by state to the point of federal, like there's so many things that need to change. So yeah, they'll be especially awful. Oh, good, Shelly. And you can still be mad. I mean, yeah, it might be true. It might still be true that they, she might have not gotten indicted on those 6 charges, but there's nothing to be pissed off about. There's still a lot of process here. She's mad at Justin about a lot of things, Frenchie. She was pissed off about the money that kind of started it. He also called her bullhorn strangler at one point in time. There was a few things that led into that. There was a few things that kind of escalated into that. I will see you guys before Sunday, but if I do not see you guys, if you're off for the weekend, have a wonderful Mother's Day to all of you mothers, fur moms, aunties, grandmas, whatever your role may be. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will probably see you soon. Bye.